Lever espresso machines are visually striking and romantic, but they feel a bit old-fashioned. Why is it then there seems to be a solid base of devotees to this seemingly outmoded espresso machine technology? Hi, I'm Charles with Clive Coffee. Despite the wealth of espresso making technology that we have these days, there's still a dedicated set of nerds, I say that respectfully, that are hooked on lever espresso machines. You could even say that most modern flow profiling tech is just being used to emulate the effects of a lever machine. So let's take a closer look at how these machines work to get a better idea of what these folks see in them. First, it's important to note that there's more than one kind of lever espresso machine. The two main types are spring lever machines and manual lever machines. Spring lever machines have historically seen more use in commercial settings. Lifting the lever requires quite a lot of force as the user compresses a powerful spring. To brew, you lower the lever to release the charged spring, which then does all the work. On the other hand, you have manual lever machines, which can be fancy like the revered Olympia Cremina, or as simple and budget-friendly as this Flare. In these machines, the user must directly apply pressure using the lever for the entire duration of the shot. Both designs have pros and cons, but today let's focus on spring lever machines like this Profitec Pro 800. While the massive lever might make it look complicated, on the inside it's actually much simpler than most of the other espresso machines we offer. To provide hot water and steam, the Pro 800 has one massive steam boiler. The pressure inside the steam boiler is what pushes water into the group head, so no pump is needed while brewing. The substantial thermal mass of the group head bleeds off some of the heat from this boiling water, getting it to just the right temperature for brewing. Then, once you release the lever, the spring handles the rest. While mechanically simple, this might all sound like a bit of a hassle, and to some extent, it kind of is. The majority of the machines we offer only ask you to push a button or flip a switch, so what's the point of doing all this yourself? There are a handful of things that make lever machines fantastic, but most important are the way that the steam boiler and the massive spring apply pressure to the coffee. As opposed to a standard pump-driven machine which will be applying constant force, the Pro 800 has a more complex force curve. The pressure of the steam boiler gives you a natural pre-infusion effect, applying about 1.5 bar of pressure to the water heading to the puck. Then, once the spring is released, you get a solid spike of pressure that peaks around 9 to 12 bar. But things get interesting once the spring starts losing some of that stored energy. As the water is forced out and the spring expands, it exerts less and less pressure on the puck, causing the pressure to taper off towards the end of the shot. While all of this might just feel like mere mechanical happenstance, and to be honest it sort of was when these machines were first designed about 100 years ago, all of these things are, by all accounts, great for pulling good shots of espresso. Pre-infusion is ubiquitous these days, and its benefits to extraction are well proven. Though it's now achieved through many different means, spring lever machines have been implementing it since the early days of espresso. Tapering off the pressure at the end of the shot also has similar benefits, resulting in more even flow and extraction towards the end of the shot. A little more on that later, but this is a huge reason why coffee nerds and the espresso old guard love lever espresso machines. They're a dead simple way to nail a perfect pressure profile with no fuss and no added components. Another benefit that can't be overstated is the mechanical simplicity of these machines. Because there are so few components and moving parts, there's just not that much that can go wrong. A little bonus that comes from this that some people absolutely love about lever machines is they're super quiet. Because both pre-infusion and brewing don't rely on pump pressure, you get to watch your espresso pull in near silence. The first thing that actually drew me to lever machines was the pleasing sound of espresso pulling into a glass in an otherwise silent room. Here, take a listen. Some of the nerdiest home baristas I know just wouldn't shut up about these machines, and I didn't really understand until I'd used one myself. It's just a different experience. If you felt a pang of familiarity when I was describing the pressure profile of lever machines earlier, there's a reason for that. Some of the most commonly used and recommended profiles for paddle and digitally controlled machines are essentially just copying what lever machines have been doing for the better part of a century. Modern flow profiling machines make almost any series of pressures possible, and it's fair to say they offer a greater degree of control than these lever machines do. But at the end of the day, we all tend to use them to emulate what a lever machine is already doing naturally. Knowing that you can count on the spring to produce this pressure profile without any fiddling with a paddle or in an app is a big reason why coffee nerds love these machines. Lever machines have remained popular for good reason, but they also remain a sort of if you know of home espresso. Between their satisfying brewing process, lovely flow profiling, and bulletproof reliability, it's easy to see why the people that get these machines never look back. And the more time I spend with this machine, the more I get it. I hope I was able to give you a little more appreciation for what makes lever machines neat. If I did, be sure to pull the like lever, tap subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.